Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with the GUITARSENAL, and today I'm going to pass along a little bit of knowledge that was kind of passed along to me a long time ago. I remember I was in, my dad was playing a gig in this little barbecue restaurant, and you know, it was one of those deals where I think they had like a few different bands there. There was like 3 or 4 different bands. It was kind of like a big shindig, or anyway, that's what was going on. And you know, I was like maybe 14 at the time. And I had my little acoustic guitar, and I was sitting out in the parking lot just kind of playing around, just practicing, because I wasn't good enough to play with my dad yet. And this guy walked over to me. He said, "You like blues, right? Your dad plays blues?" I said, "Yeah, I like blues." He said, "Well, then you got to learn this." And then he showed me this. Those triads. And that's what he said. He said, "You got to use those triads." That's what he told me. And then I took that and sort of, you know, made it my own and experiment with different things, which I'm going to show you how to do it. It's real easy. It's a blues movement. It's used in blues music, and it's used in country too. If you listen to some of the, I don't know, sort of like swing country and a little bit, they use a lot of those kind of movements in there. You may hear, if I take that type of triad there and I change it up a little bit, I might go like a... Right? So you can change it up and kind of give it sort of a swing country sort of feel if you want as well. The context that I'm going to show it is just in the way that it's used in a lot of blues. You look at like the song like Stormy Monday, and you just hear that wonderful and all you're doing is you're taking those 3 notes, that triad, and you're sliding it up. Those 3 notes are the same notes that, like I'm in G right now. All right, if I take that chord up high, that's also a G. If I slide that up, I'm in the same territory. It's triads, either way you look at it. And the best way to think about it is if you're in G, you're grabbing those 3 notes, just pretend that what's in line with this is the key you're in. So if I'm in G, that's the way I look at it. When I slide into it, I'm sliding into G. All right, well then on the 4, you go to C, right? You're going to go to C. Then the turnaround, you're going to go to the 5, you're going to go to D. Then the 4 back to C. And then back to G. It's just a great way to add a little flavor into a blues tune and use it in kind of a nice passage sort of way. And it's a very, very important triad to know in country and blues music. And again, just like we mentioned up here in the G position, in the lower register, and the higher register, you can kind of vibrate your hand and get just this nice effect on the strings. The same way that I did that with the G root note being on the A string, right? I can do the same thing with C. When I'm going to the 4 and I'm on the A string, well, guess what? I've got that same shape right here. But now I'm in C. So see, it's real simple if you think about the way that you organize it. The triad's the same, the notes are the same, it's just the position they're in is different. So the way that you would mix that up is by, let's say I'm in G and I'm doing, you know, all right, see, I went right there in the C position. See how I went in there and I slid that up. And I grabbed that high G in there. And that's another movement you can do with those triads there when you're playing blues. And that's also why it's important to build up your pinky strength, because to really make that passage sound nice and clean, it helps to have that pinky in play. So if I go... And after you learn where that triad's at, you also understand that you're also in those minor notes. So see, if and I'm giving away some secrets here, guys. If I look at that C shape, I've got my C, my E, and then I've got these three notes right here. But if you think about it along the lines of, if I'm not worried about what that third's doing, I'm running that on a flatted third, and that shape is on like a G minor, then what I can also get is this really pretty triad that I can use like this, where it sounds like. See, so you're still manipulating those three notes, but you use it in a different context. So instead of going, I'm using that high note being a G, and I'm playing in G minor. I can take that same triad and I can concentrate and really emphasize that G note. And I can do that in a way that I can't take this. See how much harder that is? To work that in to that. Now, some people might go, kind of a... You can still get that in there. You hear the little bit of vibrato I'm putting on the note, but it gives it a different sound when I approach it up here using that same blues triad that I taught you earlier. Players like Robert Cray in the blues world are known for doing those types of just really big, juicy triads where they're just grabbing them and just treating that triad like a chord, if that makes sense. So maybe this video taught you guys something, you learned something. That's my take on that particular chord shape and the way that I use it in music. Now, another way you can take that, another direction, is let's say, all right, I'm using those three notes. Well, what do I also have near this note? So before, when we were doing it in a major key, we were going, and that's got a nice country blues kind of sound. But what if I take, again, using my pinky on that G root note, using that pinky, what if I add a little bit to that chord and make it more of a... See what I'm getting at? So then you start to understand the stuff that's around that triad, and depending on the way that you organize those notes and how you use them, I can use that same triad for minor key, jazzy kind of stuff, or I can use that same triad in a major song. And because the way the pentatonic scale was set up and the way that blues and rock sounds to our ear, it just makes sense to us. So hopefully, I mean, that was a bit of guitar knowledge, not all of that. Some of this stuff I developed over a course of many years and just training my ear to listen for it. But that's a piece of knowledge that I was passed along for free from somebody who just wanted to help me out as a guitarist. So I'm just doing my part to pass along that bit of knowledge that was given to me for free. And I thought that I would pass that along to the next guitarist in line that want to learn that type of technique. Take that and make it your own. Train your ear to know that movement and the way it sounds. And you can make it sound really, really clean, depending on the way you do it. Don't get frustrated because it is an odd hand movement, especially if you're a beginning guitarist. It's a very odd thing to do, but with a little bit of practice, you can definitely get it. So again, one more time. Take those notes and kind of, do the whole. You can change that around all you want, and that is just a really awesome technique that you can use there. So hopefully you guys learned something from this video, and hopefully you were entertained, and maybe I provoked some thought in your little minds. And guys, thank you so much for watching today. That's blues triads in a nutshell, at least one type of triad. There's more of them. But that is a very useful one to know and a very important finger position to get the hang of, because as I demonstrated, it gives you a lot of flexibility in a lot of different styles of music. So take that for what you will, use it if you want. Guys, we post every Monday and every Friday. Thanks for following us today. We hope you enjoyed today's video. We'll see you next time.